What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another 5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10. Here it is. Today is a follow-up episode. We'll call it part 2. Today is called The Breakup Part 2. Part 1 actually happened all the way back in episode 11 when we were an audio-only podcast. It's been a long time since I've had a breakup with a dealer that I thought was worthy of letting everyone know sort of where it went wrong and why I think it's important that we all work together. A couple weeks ago on the show, we talked about the dealer-vendor relationship of accountability. This plays into that discussion because even in a divorce, everyone is accountable for their actions and should be as respectful as possible in a business divorce because we never know when we may need one another down the road. So the breakup in episode, or the first episode of the breakup, as I said, episode number 11, was about a dealer who was one of our very, very, very original clients. He had a bad day. He had a bad discussion. He didn't sort of see eye to eye with me, and we had a really nasty argument over the phone in which he fired me in the moment, and then that was it. Fast forward 12 months from there, I receive an email from this dealer that enough time has passed. He realizes that maybe it wasn't the best thing to have happen, and so we reunited. And we've been together ever since, and it did feel so good. And it's wonderful because the dealer himself is a tremendous individual that now is seeing the fruits of our labor working together. And it was important that he sort of have some distance from us to realize our value. So this is probably now the biggest sort of breakup I've had since, which I guess we're not doing too bad if we only have minimal numbers of breakups every 2 years. But this one was a little bit frustrating, and I'm going to tell you why. So when we engage with a client, typically we're dealing with a GM and or owner. That's just how our product works. That's how we get buy-in for the most part. So when I start dealing with those people, they sort of become the point. I become extremely invested in my clients because I'm the one that's doing the work. I'm doing the strategies. I'm doing the data dump. I'm doing everything you can think of. That's the job of the team that I work on. So we're seeing the whole picture. So here I am. We're moving along. Everything's really going swimmingly. I have no problem with anything, right? Our videos for our clients get released on a certain cadence, and on this dealer's day, his videos came out at 9 a.m., and by 9:30, I received a cancellation notice, which, again, please, let's be clear, I understand cancellation and attrition is a part of being in business in the car business. So just stop you there. Anyone who's like, oh, God, what, you can't get canceled? No. I get canceled. It happens. I don't give a shit. What I care about is how it happens and why it happens. You see, that's what matters more to me than that. The money doesn't matter. I don't care. I care about understanding the why, because in order to make my business better, which, by the way, out of divorce number 1, we found how to make ourselves better. So that was great. Now here you are coming up on the second one, and we were kind of toying around with a program to help dealers who, let's face it, if we do our jobs correctly, dealers should be very well educated within 12 to 18 months, okay? So if that happens, their cancellation probably comes in that 13 to 20 month window afterwards, right? So why don't we develop something that helps lower the cost and keeps them educated and up to date and still gives them the same benefits? Well, we were developing that. We thought it was a great idea. And this dealer was going to be one of the dealers that we had in mind because he had multiple stores and he had a marketing director in place. So the marketing director is a great individual, worked very well with him, but it was overworked. Like the majority of marketing directors, if you have a marketing director who's looking over 3, 4, 5, 6 stores or more, and it's a single entity or at best a single entity plus an intern or part-time, that's just too much work for one human. If you want them to be doing creative, dealing with co-op, dealing with vendors, dealing with strategies, I mean, if you expect all of that, you're certainly missing the boat on it. So anyhow, this individual, which the dealer told me on plenty of occasions was overworked and was trying to get him help and assistance, that's what we provide. That's what we did. So we do all the work. We have everything working in the right direction. We get the cancellation notice. Here's where things start to go wrong for me. Number 1, cancellation notice came into myself and my accounts payable department. It came in without the owner CC'd. He could have been blind CC'd. It came from a office manager that I've never spoken with in my life. And more importantly, it was a PDF, document of official cancellation, all sanitary and weird. And
Not from the owner.
Not from the owner. Not even signed by the fucking owner. Not even fake signed by the owner. Like,
not even copied.
Nothing. So you wonder to yourself, what is going on here? Why is this the case? Now, I can tell you personally the reason I feel that he wasn't involved and never since has gotten involved, which, by the way, puts his people in a very awkward position when he, the owner, doesn't speak out. Because then, if I'm talking with them, they can't say anything to me. They like, well, look, sorry, it was his idea. It was the owner's idea. Well, okay, then I need to hear it from the source, right? So I never heard it from the source. My guess is because the source was going to call me, and then I was going to be rational, which is what I try to be. And then through a rational discussion, people would figure out that, no, they really couldn't cancel us because nothing about their business, besides their level of education, which that's our job, so we get that, but nothing else about their business. They're busier. They have more shit going on. They're selling more cars than ever. They still have one dude doing the marketing. So nothing about the infrastructure has changed, but all of a sudden we aren't necessary. Again, not knowing if it was an expense-driven decision, not knowing if it was a quality of work decision, not knowing if it was, who knows? Who knows? What third is, who knows? That's the third one. Could be anything. But as a business owner, it's important for me to understand the why.
As a person as well, that's how people businesses grow.
To be fair, as my wife says, it is about the human-to-human contact of letting someone know where they went wrong in a respectful way. You don't have to be an asshole. Like, I can tell you that because I do that. I can be an asshole, but when it's time to be constructive and letting someone know why something happened, because let me tell you something. I am the hatchet man because of my job in this world a lot. And I do it with respect every single time. Anyone watching this who's ever been fired by me on behalf of a client can attest to the fact that I will tell you why it's happening, and I will always, always, always leave the door open. Because I never know. I never know. Maybe 6 months from now you come out with this killer product no one's ever seen before. Well, then why would I burn a bridge? So to me, it comes back to that. So what I'm going to ask you dealers to do is don't ghost your vendor. If you want, even if it's an email, it could be a text, it could be a smoke signal. Just tell someone, person to person, why it happened. That's what I'm after. Because I can't make my business better because I know dealers, you guys all want to know why somebody else bought somewhere, don't you? You send out 1 billion surveys to find out. You ask 1 million questions. You get frustrated when you don't understand it. Where's the two-way street? Where's the respect down the road? That's all we're asking for. So I will tell you this. It's something that bothers me. I know it's probably not going to change. But if one more person can just be honest with the next person they break up with, I'll have felt like we have a win here, folks. I really will. So go out, enjoy your week, be kind to one another, and please tune in again next week. Thank you so much. Have a great week.